All right, well, welcome back to the show, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. Senator Paul, welcome back. You know, you're going to be our financial expert in tonight's show. I know you've been on the network earlier today talking about weighty measures and COVID and all the rest of it, but I know your dad about the dollar, and I want to know, is King Dollar going to be tossed off of its throne because of all these bad fiscal and monetary policies? Is it going to lose its world reserve status, in your judgment? And what should we be doing about it? How's that for a question?
Well, Larry, you get what you pay for, and I haven't seen my check lately, but I don't think I get paid for any of my financial analysis, so you get what you pay for. But I am concerned about it, but not in the sense that there's something, a magic wand that you change that's either going to change us from being reserve currency or cause us to lose that status. But when you look at the determination of the world's trade, quite a bit of it, probably more than we've had in quite some time, is denominated in things other than the U.S. dollar. And I think our foreign policy has something to do with that, too. We've pushed all of our adversaries farther and farther away from us and closer together. It's not just Russia and China being pushed together by foreign policy, and obviously some of it's their own doing, and it's a response to things they've done that we don't like, but North Korea is in that basket as well, Iran is in that basket, but now we have some countries such as Saudi Arabia also sort of being pushed together into this non-aligned or unaligned coalition that wants to denominate their trades in things other than the dollar. So I think it is coming, and if you treat your dollar like scrap paper, and you continue to, buy up enormous amounts of U.S. debt, your dollar becomes worth less too. So for a variety of reasons, both foreign policy as well as fiscal irresponsibility, yes, the dollar's in a precarious position, and I think it's not an unfounded prediction to say, yeah, we could possibly lose our status as a reserve currency.
That's the thing. I always say this when the subject comes up to folks. We have met the enemy, and the enemy is us. If we keep spending and borrowing and money printing, then we are going to destroy the dollar. Not China, not Russia, not the Saudis, here at home. And I'm just astonished that Joe Biden doesn't really, Senator Paul, he doesn't want to cut a dollar. Not even $1.25 out of this budget. He won't even talk to Kevin McCarthy about this debt ceiling, which I think is going to pass later this afternoon, at least in the House. He won't even negotiate with him. So what are we to do? I mean, this got to have something to do with the weakness in the dollar and the rise in gold.
Right. And people also have to realize, as a reserve currency, I believe we are an exporter. One of our greatest exports is dollars. So we buy more, from foreign countries than they buy from us. The dollars are spread around the world, and they don't all come back to chase our dollars. So in some ways, we've had a great sort of situation for decade after decade. We inflate our currency, we run up massive debt, our Federal Reserve buys it, but the new dollars that are created simply go to buy foreign goods. So those dollars reside so many countries. I mean, you can go to the heart of Africa and pay for something in dollars. They're exchanging in dollars in their normal daily currency, but those dollars don't come back to chase our goods. Now, we do have inflation now, but I think it could be even worse if we were to lose our status as a world currency. So some of it's our fiscal irresponsibility, our profligacy in spending, but also our foreign policy. And I think what people need to remember is, look, there's been no greater critic of China over the pandemic and the leak from the lab that occurred over there than myself. But I don't want to have an embargo on China. There's been no greater critic than myself of Saudi Arabia, and what they did to that journalist Khashoggi, I think, is an abomination. But I don't want to have an embargo of Saudi Arabia. There are reactions to these countries that don't involve having no trade. So I think we have to be careful in the bashing of other countries that sometimes need to be bashed, but at the same time, we need to be careful of having some sort of zero trade policy, because I think that will make the world a worse place.
So basically, you're arguing we should not disengage financially and economically from China. Is that your argument?
The interesting thing is, my dad and I and others, people said, oh, you're the isolationist. But the true isolationists are the ones now that want total disengagement. They want embargoes of Russia, no trade with Russia. They don't want to trade with China. They want sort of to cut off people for moral reasons, no trade with Saudi Arabia, et cetera. So really, the real isolationists in our modern age are actually these people that believe they have this high moral ground that we shouldn't interact with less than perfect countries. And I think we have to express ourselves. We have to be for human rights. I don't think we should be giving gifts. Like, I would not gift China technology as far as virus research that we've been doing, as well as money. I don't think I would gift, frankly, arms to Saudi Arabia. But I wouldn't be for an embargo of China or Saudi Arabia. I'm for continuing trade, because once you quit having trade, you're essentially at war with a country when you quit trading with that country, if you forbid trade with a country.
Just last one, Senator. I mean, my concern is that the Biden's ill-conceived climate policy plays right into China's hands. I mean, it's not about the dollar per se, but we are, it's like the biggest bailout ever. We're just going to throw money at China because they won't let us, you know, dig for minerals here to support electric vehicles, and on and on and on. China's in the driver's seat, and I think these extreme climate policies are just helping China at our expense.
Without question. Without question. The international accords that have all the limitations placed on the United States are us just sort of bankrupting ourselves and say, here, China, you're already having a great day with trade, your ability to outtrade us and to outcompete us in the marketplace. Here, we're going to also gift you that we're going to add all these expenses. It's sort of like adding weights and shackles to all of our businesses while they get to continue doing everything they've been doing. In no way is fair, and it is a huge mistake for a country like ours to shackle ourselves with these climate alarmism regulations.
Yes, sir. Senator Rand Paul, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, sir. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.